Hi everybody, my name is Joe. I'm a doctoral student studying clinical psychology, and this is Psych Made Simple. Now, I wanted to start making videos about cognitive behavioral therapy, and that's in addition to the acceptance and commitment therapy series that I already started. I think it's helpful to get perspectives from multiple different kind of angles and different forms of therapy, because they all offer skills that are very helpful in your own life. So of course the goal of this channel is to help you kind of get some of those skills and help you understand psychology better, just so you can kind of use some of those skills for yourself and ultimately help just improve your life. Now, what I have on the screen here is sometimes called the cognitive model. So it's basically a model that a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy skills kind of operate from, and they're based on this idea that really whenever in any situation there are thoughts that come up into your head, there might be behaviors that you engage in during that situation or due to that situation, and you might have bodily sensations that you start experiencing and emotions that you feel. And all of these things are interconnected with one another, and they can cause one another. So there's arrows going both ways between all of these bubbles, because each one of these can cause any of the other ones. Now, I wanted to bring up just an example, and let's see how this goes. Let's say that you're working on an essay and your computer crashes. So I'm just going to write comp crash. Okay, so the situation is your computer crashes. Now, you just lost some progress, this really stinks, and you start thinking, I'm just going to write that. That's the first thing that kind of popped into my head if I was in this situation. This stinks. Okay, so this is just an example. Could be this is hopeless, this is terrible, could be a lot of different things. A lot of times it's like an evaluation of what's going on, right? So you say this stinks. And then you notice that you're starting to feel angry, okay? And this is just an example. There's a lot of different ways this can go, because these arrows go all the different directions between each other. Now, in my example, you think, okay, this stinks, and then you start feeling angry. Now, let's say, in a worst case scenario, you're feeling angry, this was a huge paper, you just lost a lot of progress, and you throw your computer. I'm just going to write throw. Okay, so you throw your computer, you're really pissed off, and then what happens is you start getting, I'm just going to put sink for like a sinking feeling in your chest. So you're just getting like this sinking feeling in your chest, your heart is your heart's just down. You start to feel really down, right? So you can even see kind of a natural connection between, especially these two, bodily sensations and emotions. There's a lot of times those are super, super connected. So let's say you start getting that sinking feeling, then you start feeling down, right? So I'm going to write down here. And so you're starting to feel down, you're starting to feel sad, depressed, whatever you think, or whatever, label you want to put on it. And then you gauge in, it can be considered maybe between a bodily sensation and behavior, but you start to cry, right? You're feeling really down, you start to cry, and then that behavior of crying makes you, once that starts, then you notice that you start thinking like, I'm never gonna get this done. So some kind of like hopeless thought. So I'm just gonna put hope here. Hope L for hopeless. Now, and this example, got kind of complicated, but basically the idea is just to show you that all these different parts of yourself interact with one another. They're not isolated. That's the basic idea of cognitive behavioral therapy, is really foundational idea to that. And a lot of times the idea is that it's really helpful to kind of step back and identify the processes that are going on so that you can eliminate the parts of them that aren't helpful and maybe replace it with something else. And I think before you're able to do that, you're going to have to be aware of what's going on, right? So let's say that this did happen, you come into therapy, or you're just doing it yourself, and you did throw your computer. You're trying to analyze, okay, what happened that led me to throw my computer? I don't want to have to spend $1,000 on a new computer again. I just did that. So I want to change that behavior. Well, I think it could be helpful to walk through this process I just talked about, to think, okay, once the computer crashed, I started thinking that it stinks, that my computer crashed, I got angry, and then I threw my laptop. And then this is what else happened. And then think, okay, well, I think that makes sense to get angry in that situation, and it does stink that your computer broke, but is there another behavior you can do to express that anger rather than throw your computer? And I think this process of kind of looking at the situation, looking at the thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and bodily sensations that happened in the situation can help you make different choices in the future of maybe, okay, that does stink and I am angry, but instead of throwing my computer, I think it's better if I go for a walk to cool down, or even I go punch a pillow or something like that. Do something that can help you calm down, but it's not as destructive as throwing your computer. And this is one example, but I think in a lot of different examples in life, and not even just with things you regret, it could be things that were really great that you want to analyze and how am I going to replicate that, right? It's just helpful to kind of think through different situations in this format to help you find areas of change. Now, in the next video about CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy, what I'm hoping to focus on is kind of identifying what's sometimes called thinking traps. And that would be, if we go back to this example, if there's a certain thought that is causing problems, that's leading to negative emotions, leading to bad behaviors, leading to unpleasant, bodily sensations, things like that, then the strategies we're going to talk about in the next video will be kind of targeted on those thinking traps that can cause problems in any situation. So if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and subscribe if you want more content. And again, as always, please comment if you have any suggestions for future content, or if there's any questions that you have. I'm happy to kind of engage in the comments. So thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.